what about Ange Postecoglou through the door at Celtic this morning? Celtic column, a modern, progressive coach with exciting attacking football as his philosophy. Terry, do you welcome Ange Postecoglou? Good morning to you.
How you doing, Jim? Simon?
Good morning, Terry. How are you, mate?
Okay, a bit underwhelmed, Jim, somehow, to be honest, with the appointment. I think we had the best candidate right under our nose, not in Eddie Howe, but in Sean Dyche.
Yes.
And I think Sean Dyche would have walked to Glasgow if given the opportunity to take Celtic, as I think he's took Burnley too far. I think the issue with Postecoglou is, I hope he does realise the enormity of the job he's taken on. This is a humongous job for him.
Yeah.
Does he get any experience of the British market, the European market with players? And my other issue is the backroom staff, Jim, keeping Gavin Strachan and John Kennedy on board. Is that going to happen? Because I think they need a total clear out. And I think a lot of the fans aren't happy that Gavin Strachan and John Kennedy will still be in the background.
You're not happy? Are you one of them, Terry? That Gavin Strachan and Kennedy would be in the background?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
You think they should go?
New background team. I think we needed a whole new background team, Jim.
What do you think of that, Simon?
Well, I think Terry's right on two fronts. I think if Celtic could get Sean Dyche, then they should have bitten his arm off at the shoulder. But I don't think they could get Sean Dyche. I don't think the economics of Scottish football would enable them to pay Sean Dyche's wages and the consequences of him leaving Burnley. I don't think Sean would run up to Celtic. I think he sees his future in the Premier League because it's a far bigger league than the Scottish Premier League, albeit Celtic is a phenomenal football club. But I do also think Terry's right. As much as I like Gordon and I like by association his son, the fact is that the whole regime at Celtic at this moment in time has underpinned a very poor performance over the last 12 months. It was always going to be inevitable that Rangers were going to come again. So I do think Terry's right. That unless this guy walks through the door and chooses them, he certainly can't have them forced upon him.
Sure. But Terry, you've got to give him time, haven't you? No matter what, give the guy time.
Yeah, absolutely. But Jim, you know that time, you don't get time in Glasgow. You don't get time in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Terry, we'll wait and see. Thanks for the call. Scott, big Celtic fan. Good morning, Scott.
Morning, Jim. Morning, Simon. How you doing?
Good, mate. Good to hear you and your Glasgow tones. What's your take on Ange Postecoglou?
Well, if you can remember, I was on the phone about Eddie Howe, a while ago. Regarding that, and I was obviously a big supporter on that, Jim, but I just think I'm just not overexcited about this at all. I think Celtic are a massive club who technically should be getting a top manager who's got good background. It's not like they've not got the money. They've got the money there, Jim. They've got the fan base, season ticket holders, etc., etc. And I'm just not overly excited at all. I'll still renew my season ticket. I'll still do all that, but I'll still support the team. But
But Scott, when you Scott,
I'm just getting a feeling I've got the dialer coming into the back of my head. Ronnie
Dialer. Yeah, here's Simon, Scott.
But Scott, when you say undeniably Celtic are an enormous football club with an enormous fan base, but that fan base can only be monetised to a certain level, and your turnover as a football club is 50, 60, 70 million quid. The average Premier League football club has a turnover of in excess of 150 million quid. You're not going to have the pull or the economics to pull these big managers, these big name managers into Celtic. That's why people like Eddie Howe, who are peripheral Premier League managers, might have been indexed rather than bona fide top draw managers.
That's a good point, Scott, is it not?
Right, Simon. Right, we've had this conversation kind of a wee bit before.
Tell me.
How many teams? Apart from the top five, how many teams are in Europe? Season in, season out. How many teams can sit there and hold 55, 60,000 people
Accepted.
every second week?
But you're looking at it through your prism and not through the prism of a manager. A manager coming in that manages with a set of resources that enables him to have a certain... Yes, you're absolutely right. Celtic will get into Europe and then get knocked out relatively quickly. And that's no disrespect intended in that comment.
Simon, listen, right, okay, 9 times out of 10 we do get knocked out. There is that 1 time out of 10 where we do play the Barcelonas, we do play all these kind of people, the Man Uniteds and everything else. But you need to look at it, as you're saying to me about looking at it as a managerial prospect, How could we not get Eddie Howe? How could we not get Sean
Oh, absolutely.
Dyche?
I agree with you entirely. I think Eddie Howe should have run up there, and I think he's a coward for not doing it.
You think Howe's a coward for not going?
I think it's a huge job.
We get Brendan Rodgers.
At a stage in his career, with respect, Scott, again, at a stage in his career where Brendan was going to rebuild because his reputation had been demolished at Liverpool and people were ridiculing his achievements, and he was outed at Liverpool and went to Celtic to rebuild his reputation, and the first opportunity to get a bigger job, he's gone to Premier League and managed Leicester City after he rebuilt his reputation on the back of his achievements at Celtic.
Yeah.
And Eddie Howe should have gone to Celtic. He should have bitten the arm off to take that job because it's a huge job with huge opportunity, and I think it was too big for him, and I think he's quite cowardly for not taking it.
Well, his chance is gone now, that's for sure. Scott, thanks for the call. We need to know more about this fella, Ange Postecoglou. Let's go down under. Calling in from Australia is Benny. Benny, good day to you.
Hey, how are you? All right?
I'm very good. Where do we find you, Benny?
I'm in Adelaide, mate.
All right, mate. And you're going to tell us about Mr. Postecoglou.
Oh, listen, don't underestimate him. He's absolutely brilliant. What he did here, and it did take him sort of, each club he's been at, it's sort of taken him 12, 15, 18 months to implement what he wants. But he's won the league everywhere he's been. And what he did with the national team, he took over the national team before the World Cup, and the way he made them play was unbelievable. They took it to Holland, Chile as well, and they really took it to them with a team of average sort of players. But he turned them into a really good side, and I think he would be perfect for Celtic because it won't take him that long to implement what he wants to do, because he's in a club and in a team that they win most weeks, and they're one of the best teams in that league. So I don't think it will take him as long as it has taken him in other clubs, but I think he's absolutely perfect for that club. Yeah, I really do.
So, Benny, you give it the thumbs up. I mean, Simon, we're told by Celtic that he can promise exciting attacking football is his philosophy.
Well, they're hardly going to tell us he's going to be a boring deadbeat, are they? Of course they're going to be ambitious. But I like Antipodeans. One thing about them is you get them on the front foot. They say what they mean and mean what they say. And I think with an Australian, you get that. I had a fabulous Australian fitness coach that built Palace and helped me get out of the Championship into the Premier League, because I'm an advocate. It's a big job, but I would think this guy's got the chops.
Benny down there in Adelaide, thank you very much indeed for your call. Interestingly, tomorrow, Jose Mourinho, I think, is going to be in breakfast. It'll be interesting to hear him on his new signing, because it's our understanding here at talkSPORT, the man over the line this morning, going to Roma, Jose's new club, of course, is one Granit Xhaka. We know him. Granit Xhaka, apparently the deal is done. It's a 5-year deal to Roma. The fee, £16 million. We'll hear from Jose on that tomorrow.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.